What's good, y'all? So here we are once again in the garden, get ready to flip it, man. But I wanted to go over a couple things that you can actually be growing right now in November, Zone 9, without a problem or care in the world, y'all. Let's get down. Number one, man, this is a red leaf lettuce. This one in particular is called Red Fire. I love growing red leaves during the winter. I find that overall, they outperform every other type of lettuce when it's cold. It tastes delicious and also brighten up salads too. We also run a market garden, really rely heavily on leafy greens. And last year, man, it was these red leaves that got me through. You know what I mean? I relied so heavy, I couldn't believe on just how fast they were coming. I can almost compare them in terms of speed to like an arugula. These things were really pumping. Grows great in the winter. You can actually have them up and ready in right about 25 days if you're doing a cut and come again like what we're doing around here. If you're doing them for heads, however, it's going to take a little bit longer, probably looking at more the 60-day range, really depending on how big you want them to get, and again, depending on how cool your climate is. A lot of it has to do on your preference when it comes to lettuce, y'all. So, yeah, let it rip, man. But definitely one you want to have in your winter garden, red leaf. And then right alongside of it, y'all, we have garlic. Garlic is another great one just to keep in your garden. The biggest reason I love growing garlic this time of year. So we actually grow garlic through the winter. November is pretty much the latest time in the year I want to start growing my garlic, because garlic overall is going to take right about 9 months to actually get ready for you. It grows so well through the winter. So I always want to have a crop of garlic growing. Here in Zone 9 where I'm at, y'all, because we are a bit warmer, we'll typically be growing the soft neck garlic. When you start getting into your cooler climates, that's when you're going to start finding people growing more of your hard neck garlic. Yeah, garlic, another great one to have, specifically because it grows or interplants so well with most of your winter crops. And we just moved right next door, y'all. Another great one. This is all radish. So here on my plot, y'all, we grow a lot of microgreens and we reuse a lot of microgreen soil. This one just happened to have a bunch of radish in it, so I just kind of let it ride. Radish overall will take right about 30 days for most varieties, pretty much as long as I'm going to let these go. These actually are more of a daikon radish, so I'm not going to let them get so big, just because of the things that I have growing in here with them. Another one of the beautiful characteristics you're going to find when you're growing a lot of your fall and winter crops is that it kind of just depends on you, man. You can pretty much pick them or harvest them at any time, and it's not going to be wrong. Right now, y'all, everything in this bed I have, like we were talking about right now, we have the radishes. We have some more of the red leaf here, the red fire. We also have some garlic in here as well, y'all. All this right now, if I decided to eat this, I can very easily pop off this this leaf, I house it, boom, tastes just like a radish. It's delicious. So we can actually even throw that into salads, bunch of different things that you can do with that radish. Oh, that's really good too. But like I was getting at before, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just let these ones ride. Dude, that chunk's fire full. Probably let them get probably about that big there and go ahead and pull them on out. Let radishes grow in my gardens, man, for months. I've gotten radishes, huge radishes out of the garden from these microgreen seeds. I'm not gonna let that happen. Again, just because of what I have growing in here. When you are growing radishes, the times I have found myself kind of coming to any kind of problem when it comes to them is in fact the spacing. These ones, for the most part, kind of just landed perfectly. But they do still need some thinning. So eventually I'll come out here, start pulling out the less mature ones, and just to give them a little bit more space. The only time I've ever had any problem growing radish within that 30-day time frame is when I didn't thin them out. Pretty much that's the only time, when I let them grow too close to one another. Radish, man, always one that you should have in your cold weather crop. We don't grow this anymore for our market gardens, however. Outside of the leaves, you will find some of the leaves in some of our salad mixes. Radish is another one that kind of just grows randomly around here because it's a microgreen. So we don't purposely grow radish anymore. We just kind of allow it to grow. Here's another one, y'all. I find that grows like a super champ around here, man. Especially in these wicking beds I'm finding. What I'm pointing at here, y'all, this is all watercress. Another great one to grow during the winter here in Zone 9. It just pumps out, man. I actually started this a little bit early, but it's a fantastic one, y'all, to kind of just start all winter long, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think there's really a bad time to start your watercress as long as you're starting it in the winter. Watercress, y'all, has been one now that has been in high demand at our farmers markets. People have been asking me almost every week for watercress. Looks like I finally have gotten a handle on getting watercress out, so we'll have several wicking beds full of watercress. They're having that intercropped with other things. This one's actually intercropped with our ginger. So we have a bunch of ginger as well as turmeric. Right? Yeah, these like ginger, turmeric kind of go along with, to a certain extent, with our garlic. The ginger, the turmeric, however, I do expect all that to die back during the course of this winter. What I'm going to end up doing is leaving it all in there anyway. Our temperatures, like I was saying right now, are at 70. But as soon as we start getting pretty much into like the 60s, into the 40s and just winter, you know what I mean? I'm going to expect the majority of all of our ginger to be dying back. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the bed until it comes up and then dies back again. So I'm probably going to be ending up leaving this ginger, as well as turmeric in these beds for probably a year, upwards of a year, probably close to a year, just so I can really maximize their yields. We also have some more here. And we're kind of going to do the same thing with that bed. There's a lot of stuff in that bed that I was going to pull out, but then I decided to keep because I've been harvesting and just eating out of it. So if it's going to keep giving, I'm going to keep on grubbing. That's how it's going to work. Watercress, another one great in salads. One that just freaking stands alone by itself. Very easy to grow. Doesn't need much. Again, we're growing them primarily in wicking beds now. However, I have grown this very easily in aquaponic systems. Yeah, man, can't really say enough cool things about the watercress. Another ancient superfood, you know what I mean? Here's one that you'll just find sprouting up randomly around my garden, just because it's another one of our microgreens, and this is cilantro. Yeah, cilantro is definitely one that I keep growing. I kind of look at cilantro more as a volunteer, which is pretty cool, right? But yeah, we just get cilantro, and I'll just keep it here all throughout the course of the season. Yeah, y'all, cilantro, man. One that a lot of people seem to struggle with, and I often find the reason that they actually will have a hard time growing the cilantro is, especially from seed, is basically because they're not giving it enough time to grow or to actually germinate. Majority of people that you talk to tell me, yo, I planted the seeds, but nothing ever came out. Cilantro will normally take, especially during the cooler times of the year, y'all, just to germinate, for you to see anything. Cilantro can take a cool month, you know what I mean? But it's an herb, and like most herbs, you're gonna have to expect it to take a little bit longer to actually germinate. But as soon as it germinates and starts going for you, dude, they really grow relatively fast. This could be considered a full-grown or fully matured cilantro. This took me right about, I guess, I'd say closer to 45 days. Like I said before, y'all, cilantro just kind of pops up around here, so I'm not really paying too much attention to it, but I gotta say probably about 45 days is about right. Our volunteers here, just because it's just one of our microgreens, so we often have a lot of it around. But another great one to be starting right now in November. I love putting this stuff, man, on pasta. Love throwing it in fish. Great for your blood. Cilantro, y'all. We run pretty much everything really tight quarters here. So right next to that cilantro, you're gonna find arugula. Arugula is another one that I normally just I unfortunately kind of just take for granted and never really think about it as a winter crop, just because I grow it for the most part around here all year long. I do kind of bail on growing my arugula like right around August, July and August, mid-July in August. And then during late August, early September is when we'll throw our first croppings of arugula back into the ground for our new succession. Yeah, arugula shines during this time of year, y'all. November is when arugula really sets off. I can expect this in right about a month. I use arugula as a cut and come again, so we're constantly out here harvesting it. Let's just say 2 weeks, I'll be back out here harvesting this again. This right here, in fact, this row has already been harvested once and sold at our market. Right about 2 weeks, it comes back. So now, this little patch right here, I harvested last Friday. Today is Wednesday. And so it's not even been a week, but you can already see a lot of the new growth coming in on the arugula. Yeah, arugula this time of year, y'all, it really grows well. Really good flavor, kind of complex. Tastes like, I don't know, man. Onion, sweet, pungent. I guess it's kind of the onion. A lot of people will say it just tastes bitter, but a lot of times, man, I find after speaking with people and just asking them, you know, what's their diet, I find a lot of times greens really aren't in their diet that often. And a lot of times those are the people that normally will say that arugula tastes more bitter than really anything else. And that's all they really get out of it. Nah, man, arugula's got a lot going on. Another dope one to grow. So this is about 2 weeks growth for this arugula plant right here. Another one that grows well, and then you can actually start right now in November, is kale. This is a black Casino kale. All this kale got planted out actually, this has been around now for a little while, dude. I planted all this stuff out last spring. I've harvested now at least one hard time. Got quite a bit out of it. I got well over 10 pounds. We also grow a red Russian kale. It's like a red Russian and a dino kale mix. Really pretty. But we grow that one in the back. Everybody knows the nutritional value of kale, just the benefits kale also brings. Another hardy green, great for stir fries, kale chips. You can do a lot of different things with kale, man, in terms of a green. One that I'm actually just now starting to regrow. I'm learning that it sells really well as well at our farmers markets. So I've been keeping kale on deck. Yeah, man. Another great one to grow in November, y'all. Some more of the red flames, y'all. It's got it going up here as well. But outside of the red flame, man, there's a lot of different lettuce crops that you can actually grow, especially for the cut it come again and baby crop. This is a mixture of the greens we have out there. Heat wave. It's another mix. I threw this in just because we were having flashes, a lot of flashes in the 90s. So I threw that in that, thinking we might have more of those flashes. That will be the last time we throw any more heat wave. Otis always decides to drink whenever I'm doing a video. Anyway, heat wave normally is one that I like to grow during the summer. Salad bowl greens, however, we threw those guys in. And the majority of them is this right here. That's the majority of that mix. So you will have some reds, but you'll have a lot of greens in there as well. These mixes a lot of times just at jeopardy of whatever the true leaf in this case kind of has for the most part. But a lot of times it's just a lot of different bibs and oaks and stuff like that. It's really pretty mixes. This one actually has a really cool tight rose. It's a really beautiful one. So I wanted to throw that in then just for texture and yeah, these all should be turning relatively fast because they're all cut and coming in. So 20 plus days. You know what I mean? Those style lettuces grow really well right now. And I guess it's pretty safe to say those type of lettuces, it doesn't really matter what variety as long as you're growing it for that reason. You know what I mean? For a cut and come again. if you're growing it to get full head, I would tell you it's probably smart to stay away from anything romaine, just because they take a really long time. And a lot of times the heads really aren't that big, believe it or not, throughout the course of the winter. Longest time, I thought romaine was a great one to grow for our market garden around here. But I learned, dude, it's not. It's not during the winter. You're way better off growing some kind of a red leaf. And then a bunch of different green varieties. Yeah, y'all, so if you're in zone 9 like me, this is just pretty much skimming the surface to what it is that you can actually grow out here this time of year. Can't forget the carrots, green onions, beets. I normally keep it all to leafy greens. Here, let me show y'all a bonus, man. We still have a bunch of tomatoes growing right now, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of like one of our first harvest of tomatoes. For the most part, man, I kind of just left them alone. So they're really overgrown. New gopher hole here. So I'm actually have to come back out here, but they really started to take off again. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave them here. I did grow these varieties specifically to get us into the winter. I wasn't expecting it to really work, but it looks like it's really working. So I'll come out here in the next couple days and get these things restrung up. We got a bunch of tomatoes in here, man. These are San Marzano, very similar to a Roma tomato. It's pretty much just a small Roma, really. Really delicious too. Also have a lot of the determinate tomato, Celebrity. Got a lot of those growing, still going. These varieties are said to actually do fairly well in cooler climates. I am seeing that is true. Got to tame this jungle here. And we'll see how far we can get these tomatoes growing. Seeing that we're turning everything over to wicking beds anyway. And as soon as these tomatoes are gone, we're gonna throw more wicking beds pretty much through the whole entire plot. So it's one of the biggest reasons I haven't come out here and weeded. It's gonna cover, so we're gonna get rid of the weeds now. These are nice Anaheims you got popping. We got eggplants. Yeah, y'all, so again, these aren't ones I would necessarily start this time of year, but keep in mind, you know what I mean? There's a really good chance with a lot of these ones, if you look for cold tolerant type plants, you can actually keep them going throughout the course of the year. But then again, homie, I'm in zone 9. We still got freaking sunflowers popping. Hope this will help y'all. Peace.